Hey, everybody, we are live. I am Haley Graham, the founder of the Women's Entrepreneur Network, and we are here doing our Rich Thinking to Grow series with Katherine Kim Mullen and Karine Ewert. Welcome, ladies. So happy to have you here. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday for sure.
Everybody's such a good way to start. Sorry, go ahead, Katherine.
No, go.
I was going to say, this is like such a great way for us to start our day, our work day, and lead us into the weekend. And we have a lot to talk about. I know. Katherine, did you want to jump in?
Well, really, it's to say that we're basing this at this point on Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. We have many other treasures, many other great books. Yeah. And there are many versions of Think and Grow Rich. And Napoleon Hill has other books that are even better and other study things. But this is the one that sold 100 million copies or more. And 1937, it's still existing. And if you know Napoleon Hill, this is probably the book you know. So we'll start here, and hopefully we'll continue on a journey with Rich Thinking to Grow to bring other great books like The Science of Getting Rich, 1910, Wallace Wattles. Like, we're all into these. And if you ask the question, have I read it? I haven't only read it, I live it, I study it, I breathe it. If you'd see something not home, or I'd show you the books. And, you know, we've created a community that is, people would refer to it as a book club to know what it is, but it's really a community of wealth seekers. That's what I would say it is. Until we label it, it's a community of wealth seekers. And we're on the chapter on desire, which is such an important chapter. It's about having definiteness of purpose, is what Napoleon Hill would refer in his success principles. And when you look at having a desire, and like, what do you think of that? What do you think, Karine? What do you think, Haley?
Well, I can go first. And the desire, when I began my journey, I'm about a year and a half in now on my journey towards a specific goal. And I can talk more about that. But when I first heard of Napoleon Hill and the word desire and what that meant, I really thought it was sort of like what your heart desires, that sort of that catchphrase of like, whatever your heart desires. And I had the very common and I think positive, good problem of having many desires. I don't know if you remember, Katherine, when we first met, I think my biggest problem was I have so many goals. I have so many things that I want to do. How do I just pick one? And so that's what I think of when I think of desire, all the things that I want. What about you, Haley?
I think of it as kind of that slightly all of the things I want. But to me, it's more of that, like, what is my primary thing that I really want? Because one of the things I've learned in all of this is, you can try to manifest all kinds of things, but without knowing exactly what you're working on at any given point in time, it doesn't happen, because that multitasking in our brain tends to split our intentions and our energy. And, so for me, that desire is that, like, here's the target that I'm working on right now. So if I'm, running a marathon, it's the end of the marathon. It's, what is that billboard at the end that I'm going for?
You say that, and that is exactly, if you go in any chapter of Napoleon Hill, in any one of his books, he always is about being specific.
Definite desire. He calls it definite desire. And
Haley, specificity is
right.
Everything.
And you're so right, because another thing that because I had so many things I wanted, so I literally went through the process of writing all of my desires down and asking myself, if I didn't have that, how would I feel? And I literally would cross things off my list until I got to that one. And I know Napoleon says this, my one burning desire, the one definite thing that if I did not achieve it, my whole life would be, something else. I'm not going to say over. It certainly wouldn't be over, but it was certainly the one I really was able to narrow down what that desire, burning desire was. And Haley, you said something else about you can't work towards more than one goal at a time. That is something that also I've learned. Katherine, do you want to speak to that for a second?
Well, it's it's the whole raison d'être of Sage Navigation and why we went into vision mapping. Everybody puts the law of attraction is a fabulous law, but without the law of vibration, it really is not very effective. So what happens is we don't mean to. We're taught, get your soul purpose, get your soul purpose. And you know what? I'm 64 and just got my soul purpose. And I've been working with Zig Ziglar goal setting. When you talked about, you were doing the exercise of goal setting, be, do, have. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? And brainstorm with yourself. Mm-hmm. And you know what? In the end, people get stuck often. And I know that's one of your favorite words, Karine.
One of my least favorite, for those that don't know me. I do not like that word.
Okay. So it's a reality that people get there. And it's interesting because they're in search of something. You don't have to search for it. It's going to find you. It's going to find you as you're moving towards your one goal. And when you talk about women are great at multitasking. We have to be.
We think we are.
Well, we're not great at multi-goaling. It doesn't exist. So we mix up a multitask and a goal. And the goal is that one thing you do something every day towards. And multitasking is, and it's not really multitasking, it's just moving very fast compartment to compartment, right? It's not like you're doing, there is no room.
Well, the effect of multitasking on the brain is actually, there's some interesting studies out there. It's like being high on marijuana. So if you think about in terms of your efficiency, when you're trying to swap quickly between things or do multiple things at once, it's like being perpetually high on marijuana.
Right.
It's a productivity killer. I mean, you feel great about doing it, and it might even give you the munchies, but it just doesn't do a very good job of helping you get where you're going. And that is analogous here, because if you're trying to achieve that desire, you feel great about all of these things, and yeah, you might even have the munchies, but you're not.
And there's a universal law. There is a law of physics on that, right? And it's such a simple one that it's a few together, the law of relativity even, and you put it together and it's like one thing, one place, one time. So no matter how many things you think you're doing, you're only doing one thing in one place in one time. And when you think about that and you sit and say, well, wait a minute here, I'm drinking my coffee and I'm reading this and I'm doing this, and it all looks like I'm doing a lot, but I can't drink my coffee and talk at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's so, and yet all of us, I have lots of dreams. I was not, when Karine showed up and we were doing vision mapping, I chuckled. I actually, she put me in a chuckle because I said, oh yeah, anybody comes in, you don't only want one thing. And good for you that you don't only want one thing. Good for you that you can dream. But that one thing, if you focus on, and that's what we're showing you with Think and Grow Rich, those 6 steps that you take with that definiteness, every day you take a step through that one thing. If you have a vision map and you say, I'm clear what I want in my mental wealth. I know what I'm studying this year. I'm going to get certified by Napoleon Hill Foundation. Perfect. What are you doing? That's what I ask. What are you doing? You don't need 100 things. What's the one thing? My son's going to law school. Karine, your sons are going to school. Haley, your children in university. They're in schools studying. So at the end, they're focused. They got to get their degree. We can learn from them, actually. We can focus on mental. And that's every pillar, right? Every single pillar, social, mental, it works the same. So
well, and then the other corollary on that is if you're in college or in university and you're not focusing on getting the degree, your grades suffer and it kills your results. It's funny how it applies everywhere, right? It's you think you can escape it and that you're better than this. And I mean, I remember getting lectured last year by my sister-in-law, who was telling me how she was amazing at multitasking while she's sitting there scrolling on her phone on Amazon while we're having a conversation. And we're like, okay, so where are we going for breakfast tomorrow? Oh yeah, we're going to go over here. We're going to go to this restaurant. okay. And I'm like, okay. And I'm the kind of person who's pedantic enough to say, okay, just want to double check. We're definitely meeting at, we're going to get up and we're going to leave the house and we're going to go to this restaurant at this time tomorrow. And it was really funny because we get up the next morning, she bounces down the stairs and she's like, so what's for breakfast?
She missed it.
Yeah.
Because you're multitasking and you think that you're being so productive, and it just completely sabotages what you're doing.
I can jump in on that. I'll tell you, so when I had a very busy job and I was a mom of 4 and I was commuting every day, and I said, I'm juggling a lot. And somebody said, don't say you juggle because clowns juggle. And it was the first time I was ever told that. And I thought about that myself. But I've done a lot of writing about happy chaos. I thrive in happy chaos. I love being busy. It's my happy place. Mm-hmm. I love having tons going on. I'm also like quiet time. Don't get me wrong. But I thrive by being busy. I feel very productive. It took me a few years to look back and recognize I had not retained so many experiences with especially my children, because I had 4 kids in 4.5 years. So they're very tight in age. Yeah. I know, Haley, you and I speak this language very well. But because I was doing so much when I was at the zoo, or we didn't go to the zoo very often, but I'm just using examples of things you would do with your kids, that I would also be emailing on my phone, or I would be, taking a call, or I'd be doing something else, that I look back now and I think I don't have really clear, definitive type memories that I think a lot of other people have when you are living in the moment, when you're embracing the moment, the experiences you're having at that moment. I think it is so important.
You say that, Karine, and if anybody's listening here, I want to say hi to all of you. And really, if you get the chance, there's a wonderful video that a photographer created on this particular subject, by the way. Dewitt Jones, I believe his name is. In any case, he's a National Geographic photographer, and he did leadership training and speaking with amazing photography. And it's called Celebrate What's Right.
Yeah.
Celebrates right with the world. And in it, he goes and looks for somebody that's a weaver, the best in the world in Scotland, and asks what the secret was. And it speaks directly to what you're saying. When I weave, I weave. And isn't that the case? When we are
the TED Talk, I just found it. I put it in the chat there. Oh, I put it in the private chat. Hold on one second.
Thank you so much.
I'll put it in the.
Okay.
Because it really is really fast. The photography is beautiful. And you see, and it's the same, any of you on your journey with the 10K 10-day challenge, because it's happening now. I want to take the 6 steps towards I want the method by which desire for riches can be transmuted into its financial equivalent is 6 definite practical steps. And I want to take the 10K challenge and apply it to, because it really is really timely that it's there. But this video, you want to watch because it tells you that you think you're there and there's something better coming. And you get discouraged, but there's something better. And had you took the first one, you would have missed the second one. And that's what it'll share. So go watch it and look forward to your comments in the chat later on that. But maybe we can get to the point on, if I take the 6 definite steps and I take the 10K challenge, we can put these together. Let's use this as an example of how it works. So does somebody want to cover the first step?
I can read it out. So fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire.
Easy. Haley, what did we decide?
10K.
10K. Done. Just put 10K. That's a number you can change later, so don't worry about it. 10K.
Okay. Just determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire.
Wow.
Day one. Determine what you're selling.
There you go. And this is so we're using this as an example to make it easy. And if you haven't joined it, go join it. Haley will put it in the chat. It's not too late because there's replays that can help you. But, and it's still going on. Use that and then think about what you're going to return for something else later. This is just easy to compare how it works.
Right.
Next,
Establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. Not
Haley?
today's date,
10
when you
days.
get the money you desire.
Yeah.
10
Haley's
days.
got it. 10
Now
days.
let me help you with that. If in 10 days you don't make 10K, you don't get to change the date. So many people are wishy-washy. They turn around and put, I'm doing it in 10 days. Maybe you don't do it in 10 days. Maybe, and here's the thing, when it doesn't happen, you sit and that's temporary defeat. We have a whole bunch of stuff on that. Come back every week, you'll hear about it. But for now, don't worry about it. Don't change the date. Don't confuse the universe. You've already told the universe, I'm demanding of you. Remember last week, demanding. You're demanding 10K in 10 days. It may take 11 and it may take 30. That's not your business. It's going to come when it's supposed to. Maybe you're not supposed to make 10K. Maybe you're supposed to make 100K. Maybe you're supposed to make 1K, no, nothing, but change direction of your business that brings you $1 million.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say, sometimes the path isn't exactly the path you thought you were going to take. And there's a reason why, because the path you thought you were going to take may not be the successful one, the even greater success that is coming to you. So you have to, I think that was hard for a lot of people in the beginning, but recognizing that you put the date, you stick with your date. And if you don't reach it on that date, there's a reason why. The number one thing you should not do is quit. The people who do not reach their goals are the ones who quit. That's it.
And 3 feet from gold. Remember the guy?
3 feet from gold. Yeah.
We talked about that last week. Go back and listen to Haley's got it on hers. Go to the YouTube. Like, we both have YouTube channels. Get out there, reread it, look at it. This is so important to get what you want in life. Living life by design, getting the 10K. You got to do something. Right. This is it. What's the next step?
4, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put the plan into action. And this is where last week, if you joined us, this is where we talked about messy action, which for a person like me, this was very challenging, but I love it. Now I'm just like, yep, you're right. It's not going to be perfect. Oh, well, let's go.
Yeah, we created a bit of a monster. You got to see how she's pushing me. Haley.
Well, and that's what we covered on day 1. And we've been focusing on action every single day since, between CIBN and the zone and when. Go and do the thing. And please, dear God, now is not a good time to start trying to build a massive funnel and all this other stuff. Go get some sales.
And you know what? Reach out to Karine and I. We deal with the what. We deal with the vision map. If you feel in any way in that, we're there. I mean, I did a meditation on the first day. Thank you, Haley, for inviting me. But the meditation really is about getting to your gift. You have a gift, and you don't have to copy somebody else. All you have to do is figure out what you do, and then figure out how you do it differently. And you'll see success.
We keep saying the vision map. I just want to, for those that may not know, there's a big difference between a vision board and a vision map. We don't have time to go into that today, but I just want to make that sort of distinction now. But I also want to say, back to what Haley was saying, the messy action, taking that first step, whatever it is, that's why I don't like the word stuck, because I truly do not believe you are ever incapable of either moving sideways. If you can't move forward, you can move sideways, you can move backwards, you can move to the other side, you can move on a diagonal. You are never truly stuck. Your feet are not in cement. You can move in one direction. It might not be the right direction, but just move.
I remember a business person coming in, and I know we're almost over here in a couple of minutes, but I remember a business person coming in holding her things like this. This is how she came in, like this. And I said, is everything okay? I'm stuck, she said. Really? I said. Mm-hmm. In what? There's no quicksand there. Like, what do you mean you're stuck?
Right.
Well, I'm stuck. I said, you mean you feel stuck? You feel stuck? It's not a reality. Exactly. Stuck is like fear. Mm-hmm. You can change it. Yeah. So we won't go into that now, but
we'll go into the next step, the 5th step, which is write out a clear and concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time limit for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. So basically, it's taking the first 4 steps and writing them out literally on a piece of paper or something.
So you're going to get a goal card. And what's the first thing you're going to put? You're going to put, Haley, What's the amount of money?
10K.
10K.
What's the date you're going to put?
10 days from when you started.
10 days from last Monday.
The 30th.
August 30th. Okay. And if it doesn't come August 30th, don't give up. Reach out. We're all here.
What are you giving in return? What are you giving in return?
What are you giving?
What are you selling?
And you know what?
What's your package? What's your bundle? What are you selling?
Yeah, exactly. And then write it out. And what's
describe
the final
clearly
step?
the plan. Describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it.
Yeah. We covered that on the first day.
And
decide on a plan.
Day, right? Every single day since. What are you going to do? You're going to go to the 10K challenge every single day for 10 days. That is your roadmap. That is what
and you are in the Facebook group, and you are on the zone, and you are going to the networking meetings, and
that's
today
your
at noon
plan.
we have a call. That's your plan. We laid it out for you.
Haley handed it to you. Here you go. Here's your plan.
And if you're stuck, ask a question. Oh, wait a minute. I made myself available for free coaching for 10 days to help you get your 10K for free, y'all.
And she's brought in people.
No excuses.
So reach out to Haley, reach out, go get involved, ask questions. And here's the thing. Once you have this, the final step is put on your goal card. Just put it. You'll do a better goal card in the future. But for now, just work it with this. And you know what? People are in there. You'll be surprised. You don't need a crystal ball to know the outcome if you don't go. You'll get nothing. So why not invest your time in you?
And so the last step is read your statement twice daily, once before bed and once when you first rise in the morning. But here's the most important, well, there's two most important things. So two important things. One is you have to read it and feel it. The emotional motivation is key to achieving the goal. This is something else we can talk at length about another time. But in that way as well, what was my second point? Is you read it, feel it. Katherine, you keep yours beside your bed, right?
I have mine in my, if I take my wallet right now, I have my goal card, and I don't know where my wallet is.
Right.
It's right there. If I take I have my goal card. It's always with me. I don't read it all day, but I have it with me. The energy of it is with me. Very laminated in my thing.
I remember.
Next, I have it on the side of my fridge with my bank account. Get a bank account statement, everybody. Get a check. Write out 10K with that date on it. Make it from the universe, because the universe knows how to bring it to you. Just do it. Look at it. And beside my bed, I do have it. And when I get up in the morning, I visualize my life. I pick up my book, because you know I read every day, and I read. And when I go to bed at night, my bed with my pillow, I think about it, and what is that look like if I have that? And you know what? I go to sleep, and my subconscious, who's working 24/7, it's been instructed on what to think about. It's instructed no matter what time I go to bed, no matter where I am, 2 in the morning, 11, no matter what I've done, the last thing I do as I close my eyes is think about all that money on that date and my lifestyle.
Right. But you don't just lie in bed all day and do nothing about it.
Oh, no. When I finish.
The second most important thing that I was trying to remember, and I blanked there for a second. So you have to say it with emotion, and then you actually have to take action. Right, Haley? That's your whole thing, right? You can't just say, I've got a goal, and I'm going to say it 3 times every day, and I'm going to cross my fingers and I'm going to cross my toes, and it's going to happen.
And Haley, you said something on the first day that stood with me in the 10K 10 day. For the people that aren't there live, watch the replay. And you gave, like most people don't watch the replay. Here's the thing. If you showed up live, watch the replay again. Because what you hear the second time will be very different. I can attest to that.
Because you're ready for it. You're ready for that. There might be things that come out that you're like, okay, I don't really care because I'm focusing on something else. But there's yes, very good point, Katherine. And then the last thing I was going to say, you know how everybody heard about that Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $1 million? Same sort of idea, right? We're saying like get out a checkbook or something. Remember, you can write a check to yourself, put on August 30th, I think is the last day of the 10K challenge, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in there anyways. Write a check to yourself, dated August 30th, 2023. even if you can't cash it that day, the check will be valid 10 days after that, 20 days. You will still be able to cash that check if you stick to your plan. That is my challenge to you.
And you know what? Here's the example. You weren't there on day one for the 10K challenge, right? So if you
I was.
Well, you were, but the people listening, not everybody, because there's a lot of people here. But let's say you weren't there. So your date to attend the first one was that Monday. You don't change that date. You didn't attend. You get to see the replay. You still get the benefit. That's how dates move. That's how, without changing the date, you get the benefit.
Right.
It comes.
Funny how that happens.
Haley, if you want to take this home, next week we'll come back. We will get to the chapter on faith. And faith isn't religion. There's much more to it than that. It's realizing your goals. So, Haley, can you take this home for us?
You know, the magic happens where the rubber meets the road.
Totally.
You are driving the car. So how firmly is your foot on that gas pedal? Do it.
Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
See
guys.
you next Friday, 10 a.m.
See you.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.